Hi guys, Nicholas here at Online Calisthenics, and today we're going to talk about the best calisthenics equipment for bodyweight training. And before we get started, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new and stay up to date with our weekly videos. You most likely need nothing to start, but there's a lot of cool little pieces of equipment that you can use to make your training better, more efficient, and train under any circumstances. So the first thing you want to have is a pull-up bar. If you don't have access to a park near you, or if it's very rainy, you can always get a doorway pull-up bar. The one that I'm recommending here in that video is really good because it saves your doorway from getting smashed by the bar. That includes a little pad here if you zoom in, and it's really good to not destroy your doorway. Here you can zoom in and see that those little pads here really help not damaging your walls. It may not be perfect because most of the time it's a little bit low and your feet might be touching the ground. So what you just do is bend your knees, keep your knees in front of you, keep them together, and do tucked pull-ups. Now let's move on to the second piece of equipment that's important to have. We're talking about the resistance bands. I really like the rubber bands that is in the video. You have a lot of different brands on the market. First, you can use it as an assistant. So if you can't do a pull-up yet, you can wrap the band up in the pull-up bar, put your feet in the band, and then use that as a support to elevate you and make it less heavy to carry. You can also use it for all of the movements such as dips and levers. And once you can do those movements, you can also use the bands to make the movements harder. So think of a push-up, for example. You can just wrap a band around yourself, around your shoulders, get it in your hands, and then press against the floor, having that band resisting against you. That adds some weight to your push-ups and it will increase your results. The rubber bands are really good to have. They're very versatile. They're super light. You can travel with it everywhere. Now let's move on to the next piece of equipment, which are the Parallettes. I love the ones that I'm showing you in that video because they are high enough. Here you see that they're off the ground by quite a lot, and that allows you for good range of motion when you practice pushing movements such as push-ups or pike push-ups. They also help you to stay elevated enough so you can practice your L-sits and your transitions from L-sit to an handstand or from an handstand to an L-sit. There's a lot of different things you can do on these, and they're extremely versatile. Now let's jump to the fourth piece of equipment, which is a dip station. Really, it's composed of two of those bars here. This option lets you connect those together so that you don't have a wobbly bar, because most of the time beginners tend to push outwards and it creates imbalance in those bars and some may fall. Those dips bar are great to practice dips, front lever, any sort of rows as well that you could think of at home, and they will really make a difference in your training and will increase your progress. Let's go to the next piece of equipment, which is the basic jump rope. So this one is very basic. It's the most basic you can find on the market. It's less than $5. It will do the job if you're a beginner, even if you're advanced. The only thing is that it really may start to deteriorate if you use it a lot. It's plastic. Most of the time, after using it for 6 months or a year, it's very possible that the plastic gets really thin, even breaks. And the handles here are not the most resistant, but again, they're very cheap. And if you're learning, it's a great way to start. You can move on to a more advanced type of rope, which is the speed rope. This one is awesome. And what it does is it just goes faster. The rope itself is thinner. It's just a little bit heavier, and it will just get a lot more speed into that jump rope skill. So it's much harder. So if you're a beginner, don't start with this and go for the first one we looked at. And if you are already a bit more advanced or want to increase your level, for sure, get on that speed rope and you'll see major progress once you start getting good at jump rope. Let's move on to more advanced pieces of equipment here. And we're going to talk about the gymnastic rings. So these are definitely not for beginners, because this type of equipment is going to make everything you do much harder, basically. Compared to a static bar, everything is going to become imbalanced and you're going to need a lot more proprioception strength. Don't do it if you're not advanced yet or if you're just starting. But if you want to increase your level and you've already been training, that's a great piece of equipment. You can do anything with it, from pulling to pushing to static holds. Everything will just get harder and your progress will be incrementally better. You can hook those rings to anything from a tree in the park to basketball hoops. Anything works and really just will make your training better. Now let's move on to the last piece of equipment, which is the weight vest. Weighted calisthenics is really the secret for those of you guys who are already advanced to make even more progress. Just start doing everything you've done in the past, but add a weight vest to it, and I promise you will see your progress skyrocket like you've never seen before. I recommend about 40 pounds of weight because it's significant and it will really make a difference in your training. You can start with 30 pounds as well, but I don't recommend going lower than that because it won't be that significant after that. You can find all of these pieces of equipment at onlinecalisthenics.com/shop. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. You can start your own calisthenics workout at onlinecalisthenics.com. There's plenty of workouts on there, lots of videos, tutorials, workshops, many pieces of content that will take you from beginner to advanced in calisthenics and more. So I look forward to training with you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.